Boy, am I glad you're here. I've got to warn you about these Disney World mistakes that you might encounter in 2023 before it's too late. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, mistakes happen. We make a lot of them, but some mistakes can be a little more detrimental to your Disney World trip than others. Today, we're going over new issues you could run into during a 2023 Disney trip and classic slip-ups and extra tidbits of advice to help make your vacation so much better. And what better place to start this video than talking about the busiest times in Disney World that so aren't on your radar. This is really timely because one of these times is coming right up here in the next few weeks. You can run, but you can't hide from the Run Disney crowds. Each year, Disney World hosts 4 different Run Disney events, a time when runners or speedwalkers can look forward to earning cool medals while they sprint through and around the perimeters of Disney World's parks. It's really fun to do and be a part of, despite the fact that you gotta get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But Run Disney races don't just bring something unique and exciting to look forward to, they bring on a lot of people. During the 2022 Wine and Dine Half Marathon, we saw majorly bottlenecked pathways around Fantasyland, a Hop in Mexico pavilion in Epcot, and shoulder-to-shoulder crowds around Toy Story Land and Disney's Hollywood Studios. But to be fair, when are there not shoulder-to-shoulder crowds in Toy Story Land? So what days is Disney World going to be hosting Run Disney races in 2023 that you need to keep an eye on? The 2023 Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend is going to take place from January 4th to the 8th. The 2023 Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend is scheduled for February 23rd to 26th. And by the way, I was in Disney World during the Princess Half Marathon Weekend last year, and I had to stay an extra day, and I tried to get a hotel room, and that was practically impossible. It was the worst to try to get a hotel room during that time frame. They were booked up solid, so just a heads up that could happen too. The 2023 Springtime Surprise Weekend, this is new, will run from April 13th to the 16th, and the Run Disney 2023 Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon, part of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, will take place from November 2nd to November 5th. Now, it's not just the shoulder-to-shoulder crowds you're going to have to worry about. You're also going to need to know about the many road closures that happen during race times too. Believe me, I've been caught in the traffic for a Disney race, and it is not cool. Disney World's races are road races, which means, as the name implies, that runners race on the road. To keep the runners safe, Disney's going to close down some stretches of road during the races. The good news is that those roads don't stay closed all day. Races in Disney World do start early in the morning. We're talking 5 a.m. at the latest, and each has a cutoff time that runners must complete the race before or else be picked up by Disney Transportation. For the longer races, like half marathons or marathons, the roads might remain closed for a while into the morning, especially around Epcot, where most of the races finish. It's possible that the roads will be closed around park opening time. So if you're hoping to rope drop Epcot on the day of a Run Disney race, or if you've got a very early flight that you need to get out for, you may want to plan ahead. To see all the road closures during Run Disney races, head to the event hub and look for the section that says Transportation. An interactive map should pop up that shows you which roads will be closed at any given time. They're also listed on the Disney World website. One way to avoid the road closures around Epcot is to stick to Disney transportation like the monorail or Skyliner. You could also park at the Transportation and Ticket Center and take a monorail from there to Epcot. And there are Skyliner stations at several Disney hotels and at Disney's Hollywood Studios, so you could go to one of those stations and ride the Skyliner to Epcot. If you know your trip is going to fall into one of those Run Disney timeframes, don't panic. There are still lots of ways to plan around this influx of guests. We've even got a video out now that talks about 50 different methods to help avoid the crowds, which you should totally check out when you've got the time. But if you want to be one of those people participating in the races, registrations open up early and fill up real fast. Currently, there are still a couple of events you can sign up for during the Springtime Surprise Weekend, but we haven't got any details yet about the next Wine and Dine Half Marathon's registration. I'll let you know just as soon as I hear more, because that can fill up in seconds, and you can make sure you're staying up to date on the Run Disney deets when you sign up for our DFB newsletter. I'll make sure to send you any and all Disney announcements and discounts to help you plan your 2023 trip. I'll drop the DFB newsletter sign up in the link in the description. That is totally free, by the way, but you have to deal with me being in your inbox, so... All right, the next mistake I want you to avoid in 2023, assuming Disney automatically applies discounts. Stick with me because this is super annoying, and this is one of my first tips I ever learned when I was becoming a massive Disney Parks fan way back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago. I don't even know. I'm very old. When you feel like you're struggling against a wave of those price increases, Disney once in a while is going to throw you a lifesaver with one of their hotel discounts on their website. But It's your job to locate it and apply it yourself. If there's a discount available for a hotel room or a vacation package and you book online, that discount's not going to automatically be applied when you make your reservation. So let's say you want to save up to $100 per night with the latest Disney World vacation package deal, and you go ahead and book a vacation package. Disney's not going to apply that for you. They'll just take you to the checkout page and ask if you're ready to seal the deal. So if you don't apply that discount yourself, you're just going to wind up paying full price for your room and tickets. It's like a discount code on any shopping website that once in a while they will give you like the automatic 30% off, but it's rare, right? Now, if you haven't made your reservation yet, discount options should pop up at the top of the page when you're selecting your hotel room. But if you've already booked the trip, you'll just have to take initiative to make sure the deal is added to your reservation. You can call Disney's reservation number and get in touch with a cast member, and they can either apply that discount to your trip or they will cancel your current trip and rebook with the discount if that's still available. Quick warning though, phone wait times can get excruciatingly long when new discounts are released, and if that ends up being the case for you, then you may want to try to modify your vacation package yourself through the website or the My Disney Experience app, because you can apply those discounts by doing the modification thing on your vacation package. The absolute easiest way to have discounts added to your trip though is to book through a travel agent, a good travel agent, not a travel agent who like phones it in, right? And we recommend our friends over at Small World Vacations. They are awesome. They're all full-time travel agents. They're not just doing this as a hobby, and they will make sure discounts are added to your trip as soon as they're announced. Even if you've already booked, they don't even have to call you and talk to you about it. They'll just do it. I'm going to go ahead and drop the details for our Small World Vacations folks down in the description below so you can check them out when you start getting serious about taking those giant steps towards your next future trip. All right, next mistake you want to avoid in 2023. Planning your trip during unexpected closures that are going to be problematic for you. If you slip into your swimsuit, you head down to the pool, you're excited to jump into the water and maybe play around a Marco Polo with the family, but when you arrive at the gate, the pool you were looking forward to spending the day in is closed for maintenance. Why? So let's clear the air here real quick and talk about the park closures happening right now and the park closures that will be happening really, really soon and may already be happening by the time you get around to watching this video. Currently, these are the experiences that are closed on Disney World property per the release of this video. Enchanted Tales with Belle and Ariel's Grotto in Magic Kingdom have been closed since the historic park closures back in 2020, with no word on when or if they're returning. However, you can still meet Belle over in the Enchanted Tales building in Fantasyland. Meeting Disney pals as circus stars at Pete's Silly Sideshow also has yet to return to the Magic Kingdom scene, though Disney did say they plan on bringing it back soon. The Voyage of the Little Mermaid stage show is in the same boat, extended closures but all quiet on the home front. That's over in Hollywood Studios. That's that other puppet show. Narcoossee's, the upscale signature restaurant in Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, is undergoing renovations leading to an enhanced dining experience. Disney loves that word, enhanced. But it should open sometime in 2023. No word on if that means like tomorrow or December. I don't know. But Disney's gonna have updates and we'll let you know about them. Two other dining experiences in Grand Floridian, including 1900 Park Fair and the Garden View Tea Room, also remain closed, and we got crickets. We got no idea what's going on with those. Tokyo Dining in Epcot is experiencing a similar large refurbishment and is expected to stay closed until summer 2023. Inside Imageworks at Epcot, you can't meet Wreck-It Ralph right now, but you can still meet Vanellope to talk to her about all things racing and gaming and candy. Though lots of Streetmosphere and free roaming characters are returning to the parks, we're still waiting to see the citizens of Hollywood come back to Disney's Hollywood Studios and the citizens of Main Street in Magic Kingdom. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon is currently closed for renovations too, though you can still visit Disney's other water park, Blizzard Beach, in the meantime. That being said, if Florida hits one of their cold spikes again, like they did at the end of 2022, there's a good possibility Blizzard Beach will close down for the day, which is why it's actually a better idea to wait to buy your water park tickets rather than purchase them months in advance like you should for your regular theme park tickets. But don't worry, if you buy a water park ticket, you can use it any time in the year, so you don't have to kind of dedicate a certain day to it. And the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique locations in Disney Springs and Disney's Grand Floridian Resort still remain dark, but the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in Magic Kingdom is open for business. They're ready to take your money. Now, these are the closures that will be happening toward the beginning of the year that you're going to need to keep an eye on. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will experience a temporary closure for some minor tweaks and maintenance between January 9th to the 13th, but should be back up and running again by the 14th. The Skyliner is going to close for annual maintenance between January 22nd and January 29th. So if you are staying at a Skyliner Skyliner Resort. Check those dates right now because it's no point in staying at those hotels because one of the main reasons you probably want to stay at one of those hotels is for the Skyliner access, right? Right. Okay, several Disney World Resort pools are going to close for refurbs and maintenance too, including the Feature Pool and Whirlpool Spa at Disney's Contemporary Resort beginning January 9th and extending until August 3rd. Yeah, that's a whole summer without the main pool for this hotel. Over at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, the Meadow Swimming Pool and Whirlpool Spa will be closed January 9th through April 3rd, but the water play area, Meadow Snack Bar, and the Wilderness Swimming Pool will remain open to guests. Beginning in January and extending until late March, the High Rocks Spring Pool at Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa will be closed for refurbishment. The On the Rocks Pool Bar will also be closed during that time. Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration is wrapping up all festivities on March 31st, but you still have another celebration to look forward to, which I'll talk more about later in this video. The Nighttime Spectaculars, Enchantment, and Harmonious will be taking their last bow sometime in 2023, though we're not exactly sure when that will be. But with these closures, we'll be gaining 2 new fireworks shows. We don't know details about either yet, but we do know Magic Kingdom's new show will bring back the Happily Ever After music and all of its Happily Ever After glory. And here's the big one for you. Splash Mountain will be closing permanently on January 23rd, meaning your last day to ride this one will be January 22nd. This closure is going to pave the way for a brand new log flume ride, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is slated to open later in 2024. Well, maybe it's not brand new. It's basically the same ride, just with an overlay. All right, this closure section is a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but early year closures are kind of an annual thing for the Disney parks. This slower, cooler season gives Imagineers the time to do some much needed cleanup so our favorite attractions can keep looking nice and dapper. But nonetheless, they'll still throw you for a loop if you weren't expecting certain attractions to be closed during your visit. You can always check the Disney World website and search for specific experiences to see if any future refurbishments are scheduled for a ride or attraction, restaurant, or pool that you were looking forward to doing. Next mistake you don't want to make in 2023, not preparing for those major price increases. Whatever price tags you're currently seeing for restaurant items, gift shop souvenirs, and extra experiences might change before you arrive in Disney World. It's happened before, and it's going to happen again. We've traditionally seen price increases at all times of the year, but in recent years, the biggest increases have taken place in the early months. In 2022, we saw ticket prices increase subtly in February 2022, and hundreds of food and beverage price increases hit in January. An early 2023 Disney World vacation could mean you'll miss out on another wave of price spikes. But even if prices do go up before your next visit, there are ways you can save to make sure these sporadic increases won't throw off your budget. First, check for the cheapest park ticket days. This point deserves its own section in the video, so stay tuned. We'll be talking about the cheapest days to visit Disney World soon. You can bring your own snacks. Disney price increases can't impact you at all those snack locations if you're not constantly buying snacks. Try packing sweet and salty goodies from the grocery store ahead of time, like dry cereal, Uncrustables, Go-Go Squeeze applesauces, assorted chips, or whatever else might satisfy your munchies during the day. Use a grocery delivery service or stop by a local supermarket before reaching your hotel. You'll still have to pay for those delivery fees for any of the food delivery services you choose, but that most likely will still be cheaper than buying all those Disney snacks directly in the parks. We've done the math. Whatever you do, don't waste your money on those often overpriced, pre-packaged goldfish type snacks in the parks that you can get for way cheaper at the grocery store. If you're going to spend money on food in the parks, try focusing on items that are more unique, brand new and fresh, and you can't find them anywhere else. You can also buy Disney merchandise online. Again, this deserves its own section, so we'll go into the meat of this one in just a second, and watch our savings videos. Our video, Can We Eat for Under $20 in Disney World, not only gets us to attempt a rather tricky challenge, but it also has a lot of food, drink, and snack savings tips that are pretty evergreen, so you can watch it whenever you plan on visiting Disney World and still get a lot of value. Now, one more little heads up on this one. We also see major price increases in October, and that's happened the past few years. So if you are going to Disney World in February or October, you might see some price jumps then too. Next mistake we don't want you to make, missing out on hours at Disney World. Time is money in Disney World. You do not want to waste any of it. If you catch an early flight to Disney World and end up inside the Disney bubble while it's still daylight, then good news, you can start your vacation right now. Don't miss your opportunity to jump into your Disney trip head first and start making the most of your limited time on property. Book that early flight, and as soon as you arrive at your hotel, you can start using those Disney amenities. So even if you're not able to check into your room, you can still take a dip in one of the resort's pools to pass the time. You can also jump on one of the buses and take a trip over to Disney Springs to do some shopping, have a nice sit-down meal, maybe even catch a live performance on one of the outdoor stages. But what are you going to do with your luggage? Won't it be a pain to have to carry that around with you all day long until your room's ready? Yeah, it would be, but you can have your resort hold your luggage for you. In the meantime, you'll just need to head to Bell Services at the hotel, drop off your bags there, and they'll give you a little tag and they'll bring them up to your room as soon as you're there. This is totally free, but you will definitely need to tip those Bell Services folks. I usually tip $1 to $2 $2 per bag. You can also do something very similar for the end of your trip to milk the last remaining time you got in Disney for all it's worth. If you book your returning flight for later in the evening, you can still leave your bags with your resort's bell services even after you check out that morning. That way you can get one more day in the parks, the resort pool, or Disney Springs shopping district before you make that sad trek back to the airport. We've all been there. All right, at the risk of sounding like an infomercial, why pay more when you could pay less? We're going to talk about the cheapest park days. Disney World park tickets can be fickle since prices change by the month, week, and even day. So we've tracked down the cheapest park tickets for every month of 2023, and we're going to share our findings with you right now. Please keep in mind that the prices we're sharing are what we're seeing right now. This could change later on in the year if demand sees a huge increase or decrease. That's the thing with Disney park tickets. They can change those no matter what. These prices are also based on a one-day single park ticket for an adult. Prices for tickets decrease when you tack on more days to your trip. Prices for one park tickets also change depending on which park you visit that day, which is why you're going to see a price range rather than one single cost per ticket. Okay, enough of the technicalities. Let's take a look at what we found. The cheapest days to visit in January: the 10th, the 23rd to the 24th, the 26th, and the 31st, with ticket prices ranging between $134 and $154. The least expensive days to visit in February are the 1st, 7th, and 8th, when tickets have the same cheaper price ranges that January has, $134 to $154. When spring break season starts up in March, the cheapest days will be toward the end of the month on the 27th, 29th, and 30th, with a price range of $144 to $164 per ticket. Spring break season continues through April, but you can find cheaper tickets from the 2nd to the 4th, priced at $139 to $159. The crowds in May die down a bit, so do the higher price tickets, though the lower cost days, May 1st and 2nd and May 8th to the 10th, have the same price ranges that the cheapest days in April have, $139 to $159. The cheapest days to visit in June, aka the start of summer vacation season, are the 5th, the 12th to the 15th, 19th to the 22nd, and 26th to the 28th, with prices between $134 and $154. We're back to those January cheap prices here. July is much the same, but with fewer days to get those cheaper prices between July 24th and 28th. August brings some of the lowest cost days of the year, since this is when school's back in session and crowds die down significantly. You can find the cheapest ticket prices from August 22nd to the 25th and 29th to the 31st, ranging between $109 to $124. It's amazing. September brings more of the same low-cost deals, but spread throughout the entire month. That $109 to $124 ticket range is listed for the 5th to the 7th, 12th to the 14th, 18th to the 21st, and 26th to the 28th. October prices pick up again around Halloween, but the least expensive days to visit in October are from the 1st to the 2nd, 10th to the 12th, 16th to the 19th, and 23rd to the 26th, and surprisingly, October 31st, with ticket prices between $144 and $154. November has similar cheaper days on the 1st to the 3rd, 6th to the 9th, and 14th to the 16th, and finally, the month of December, aka one of Disney's busiest times of the year, will give you the cheapest tickets on the 3rd, 7th, 8th, 12th to the 15th, and 18th to the 20th, ranging around $149 to $169. Want to check all these different prices yourself? Disney lists the entire year out on their theme park ticket calendar before you make your ticket purchases. Okay, now that we've talked about all the cheapest ticket days, let's talk about how you can really use those to your advantage. Let's say you don't just want to visit one Disney World park during your trip, you want to visit all 4. So you get 4-day, 1 park per day, so not park hopper, tickets instead. First of all, the cheapest ticket days may change from what we just listed, so you want to double check the ticket calendar, see how much the costs have shifted. And secondly, you can essentially choose how much you're going to pay for your tickets. Here's how. If you're planning on visiting Disney World in February and want to visit the parks from February 10th to the 13th, and you choose the 10th as your start date for your trip, your total ticket price is going to be $556. But check out that blue ticket range and how far it extends. Tickets can actually be used on non-consecutive days within a certain range, and that range may actually go past the days you plan to be there. By buying a 4-day ticket and choosing a start date, you're actually able to use it on non-consecutive days from February 10th through February 16th. So what happens if you move that start date up a bit? Well, if you actually select a start date of February 7th, you can use your tickets on non-consecutive days if you want, from February 7th through the 13th. That still covers your trip dates, the 10th to the 13th, but the cost is actually less. Instead of $556 per 4-day ticket, the cost is actually $540 per ticket. Multiply that savings across multiple tickets and it could make a difference. So be sure to play around with those start dates to see how to get the best deal. Just make sure the date range it covers will fit your trip dates. Ooh, now this next mistake is a big one you want to be really careful about, and that's planning your trips around experiences that don't have a set release date. The release of a major Disney project like Tron, Light Cycle Run, and Magic Kingdom can be really exciting, but if you're not careful, that eagerness to finally ride this high-speed coaster could cause problems. So, hypothetical scenario, let's say your neighbor Joe Schmo comes up to you and says that the Tron coaster opening is absolutely going to happen at the beginning of April, because that's right after the 50th anniversary is going to wrap up. Is Joe Schmo right? He could be, but there's no way of us knowing that for sure until Disney announces an exact opening date. Just because there are whisperings and online rumors and speculations about when a certain experience is going to open in the parks doesn't mean you can take those rumors as gospel truth. So don't base your entire trip solely off the potential that something's going to open during the time you're visiting. If you really want to time your visit just right, wait until Disney makes an official announcement for an attraction's opening date. Then you'll know that if you plan a trip anytime after that release date, you'll have a lot better chance of actually riding it rather than blindly booking a trip and hoping for the best. That being said, make sure you're not putting all your eggs into one basket here. You don't want the weight of your trip to rely solely on one ride or one show or one restaurant being open. So many things could happen that will delay an opening or cause a ride to shut down for the day, or you may not be able to get into a virtual queue or snag an advanced dining reservation. Lots of factors to consider, lots of ways for your plans to just sort of blow up. So make sure that when you're planning this big Disney trip, you've got a whole list of things you'll be excited to see and do rather than just being excited for one thing and one thing only. And around the same sort of concept, when it comes to merchandise, the name of the game can be scarcity. The Walt Disney Company is about to hit triple digits, 100 years old, and with this special occasion, which we'll be celebrating all throughout 2023 with the 100 Years of Wonder celebration, you're probably going to want to sport some 100 Years of Wonder merchandise, but you don't have to wait until you get to the parks to start buying your exclusive Spirit jerseys and Loungeflies. You should start shopping for those items now. In fact, it's probably better if you do. ShopDisney.com sells lots of park-specific items, including exclusive items for the festivals, the holidays, and 100 Years of Wonder celebration. You can save big on your Disney park souvenirs by just purchasing them on Shop Disney instead of directly in the parks, thanks to special savings opportunities the website promotes, like the 50% off discounts and stuff like that. You're not going to get that in the park. For example, you can get especially big savings during Shop Disney's Twice Upon a Year sales, which happens during a weekend in December and a weekend in May. This sale is going to help you save up to 40% on clothing and accessories and toys and everything. But those aren't the only sales Shop Disney puts on during the year. Each month, expect to find discounts and free shipping for lots of items. This is a great way to get that park merchandise much cheaper and delivered right to your house, so you don't have to worry about hauling it around the parks. Now, another point to make here in this section, if you are in the parks and you see something that you really, really want, especially if it's 100 Years of Wonder merchandise item, go ahead and buy it when you see it, because that stuff can sell out and some of it will sell out. So grab it while you can, because you may not find it in another store during your trip. Now, this next mistake is definitely controversial. Some of you might disagree with me on this one, but I'm going to say it anyway just to save some of you some money, and that's paying for every PhotoPass photo. So if you buy Disney World's Memory Maker, that's going to cost you $169 to $199. That's going to give you every single PhotoPass photo you take, every ride photo, every character meet and greet photo, and every photo you have a PhotoPass photographer take of you in the parks. You're going to get all of those. They're going to be yours forever. Now, $169 to $199 is a lot of money. That could be an entire night in a hotel at Disney World. That could be a park ticket. So you want to really think hard about whether you need all of those PhotoPass photos, because if you want to purchase one, you can just buy that one, or you can buy two of your favorites. And that could cost you a lot less than $169 to $199, where now you've got every single photo. A set of two 4x6 prints or one 5x7 print is going to cost you $18.95, while one 8x10 will cost you $20.95. So even if you have like 10 pictures that you really, really like from your Disney World trip, it's still going to cost you significantly less than Memory Maker. And also remember, you can always ask a cast member, including a PhotoPass cast member, to take a picture of you and your family on your phone that you get for free. So all I'm saying is think twice before laying out $200 to get every single vacation photo that you take in Disney World through PhotoPass. Chances are good that you're only going to like 5 or 6 of them, enough to print them out and put them up, and the rest you're never going to touch. So that's just my thought. Just going to leave that right there. The next mistake you do not want to make in 2023 is forgetting about all the new stuff, including the new fireworks shows. I know we are getting hyped to see what the new nighttime spectaculars are going to be like in Magic Kingdom and Epcot when they come to the parks later in 2023. But those are the only nighttime shows you should be getting excited for right now. On December 12th, a completely new light show debuted in Disney's Animal Kingdom, which celebrates the release of the new Avatar film. The classic Tree of Life Awakening projection show has a new twist that features scenes and characters from Avatar: The Way of Water, while still celebrating the wonder of nature. This show begins at sunset and happens every 10 minutes or so until park close. If you think Pandora and the Avatar films are straight up eye candy, like I think they are, then this show is going to be a fun one to wrap your Animal Kingdom day with. And be on the lookout for the return, or maybe even brand new, Beacons of Magic show for Epcot's 2023 Festival of the Arts. Last year, we were blown away by a special Rainbow Connection performance on Spaceship Earth that I still get all teary-eyed thinking about. Though I hope that's the show that returns this year. Who knows? Disney could have a different ace up their sleeve that they're planning on showing off instead. Either way, it's always worth visiting our giant golf ball friend at the end of each night to see what different shows are going to be rotated through every 15 minutes or so. Okay, I know you're totally ready to hear more news about the debuting nighttime shows coming to Magic Kingdom and Epcot this year too. Trust me, so are we, but we're still waiting to learn more about them. What we do know is that Happily Ever After will make its grand musical return to the new projections show in Magic Kingdom. As far as Epcot's show is concerned, though, it's all big up in the air mystery, but we do expect to see it make its debut later on in 2023. All right, this next one, I know this is something that you think about and then forget to do until it's too late. And that's forgetting to make reservations for restaurants. I get it. No matter how many times you may hear about needing to secure those advanced dining reservations 60 days before your Disney World trip, it can still slip your mind. I mean, you've got so much going on. You're so busy. There's so much going through your brain. How are you going to remember to make reservations for where you're going to eat in Disney World 2 months in advance? So here are some ways you can remember when to make those ADRs. Make sure other group members have your ADR day circled on their calendars too. You may have been put in charge of making ADRs for your group, but that doesn't mean you have to hold the burden all by yourself. Make sure others in your group also know when your ADR reservation is going to open so they can help remind you to set your alarms. They may even want to get up with you so you don't have to stress over doing everything by yourself. Just remember, advanced dining reservations drop at 6 a.m. Eastern daily and have the potential of going live 15 to 30 minutes earlier than that. So you and your fellow travel buddies are going to have a real early morning ahead of you. If you're trying to snag some reservations for the most popular park restaurants, definitely don't miss that 5:45 a.m. wake-up call 60 days out. It's a good idea to set reminders for yourself on your phone. This is how I remember to do everything. You can set reminders, set alarms, just set something that's going to remind you to make those ADRs. And don't panic if you do forget. Just because you missed your dream reservation at that 60-day window doesn't mean you won't ever have the chance to find it again. Keep checking back on the Disney World website or the My Disney Experience app until the very last minute. Even on the day of your visit, you may be able to get on a restaurant's walk-up wait list or find a last-minute reservation on the dining tip board of the My Disney Experience, which often happens if someone else's cancellation is made the day of, giving you the chance to swoop in and snatch it up instead. And heads up that I have been finding some very, very popular restaurants on the walk-up wait list section of the app, so definitely check that. Now, you never think it'll happen to you until it does. Time to talk about the healthcare services that you have access to in Disney World. There may come a time on your Disney World vacation when you're going to need a new prescription, or you're going to need urgent care services, or you're just going to need some professional medical advice to point you in the right direction toward a healthier you, so you can pick back up in the parks where you left off. And that's why it's so important that you know what's available to you while you're in the Disney bubble, just in case. So here are all the different healthcare services that you'll have access to while you're there. First, Advent Health. That's Disney World's recently partnered healthcare service, and because of that partnership, you've got virtual healthcare services while staying at a Disney World hotel. In order to access these, search Advent Health in the My Disney Experience app or scroll down to the Healthcare Services tab, and you'll be automatically directed to a screen prompting you to download the Advent Health app. On this app, you'll find 24/7 virtual services and doctor visits available for Disney World guests. Some insurance providers even cover the cost of the appointment, which is another thing you'll want to check into before your visit. If you're feeling under the weather and you just keep feeling worse and worse, don't be afraid to use CentraCare Urgent Care, which you can also access through the Advent Health app. The Advent Health CentraCare Urgent Care clinics are open 7 days a week, and their Lake Buena Vista clinic is actually open 24 hours a day. Transportation to CentraCare Urgent Care is actually complimentary for Disney World Resort guests and can be arranged through Disney's First Aid Centers, through front desk cast members at the hotels, or by calling the Advent Health Experience Center. Now, this is really, really important stuff. Believe me, I've had enough situations where where I needed to get to urgent care or I needed a new prescription or something in Disney World, that I can say with confidence that you want to know how to do this if you're there. It's going to save you so much time and get things going much faster than having to Google all of this stuff. Advent Health can also rent out medical equipment for your stay, including crutches and hospital beds and front wheel walkers. And if you need a prescription filled or delivered to your resort, Advent Health can take care of that for you too. If you want to talk to someone directly about those offerings, or if you have any more questions, you can call Advent Health at 407-939-7480. Now, let's also talk about those baby care centers. When you're traveling with an infant, a baby, or a toddler around each of the parks, the baby care centers can be a saving grace. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios are each equipped with a baby care center, and these locations offer a quiet and peaceful private spot for moms to get in a diaper change. They can nurse, pick up any baby necessities they may have forgotten to pack or ran out of at the parks, or just a place to kind of sit down, cool down, relax. This is especially good for kids that have sensory concerns. Maybe they're overstimulated. This is a good place to go sit in the AC and relax and just sort of breathe for a bit. Now, these areas are also well stocked with baby formula, baby food, juice, diapers, wipes, clothing, and over-the-counter medications for purchase. And along with those baby care centers, Disney World has fully equipped first aid centers in each of their parks too. In Magic Kingdom, first aid is located between the Crystal Palace and Casey's Corner. In Epcot, you can find first aid in the Odyssey Center between Future World and the World Showcase near the Mexico Pavilion. Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, first aid is in the Guest Relations Building on Hollywood Boulevard, right near the park entrance. And then there's Animal Kingdom, which has a first aid station in Discovery Island, right next to Creature Comforts. That's where you can get a Band-Aid for your blisters, some Dramamine if you're about to ride Cosmic Rewind, and just basically head over there if you're dehydrated, you need to take a breather. They can help with all of that. Now, this next mistake is kind of a funny one, but it actually could make a big difference. And that's thinking the best Skyliners are the ones with characters. If you've ever waited for a Disney Skyliner gondola to swoop down and pick you up, or you've seen them in the Disney videos like ours before, then you'll probably notice some of them have characters and others don't. When I first rode on a Skyliner, I remember thinking, oh, I sure hope I get the one with the hitchhiking ghosts. But as time passed and I've gotten my fair share of Skyliner rides in, I don't cross my fingers for the character-wrapped gondolas anymore. I want one of the naked ones. The gondolas with the characters look cute from the outside, but these won't provide spectacular views. The ones that are naked don't have all those little dots and all that wrapping and covering on them, so you can actually see better. So how are you going to guarantee a gondola without the character wrap? Well, you can't. It's all based on luck. But I'm just saying, don't be hating on those undecorated Skyliner gondolas, because they're going to give you the best and clearest views of the property. An extra tip for you, if you get on the Skyliner while Epcot's nighttime spectacular is happening, you might just be able to see the fireworks from your gondola, and that is cool stuff. Another big mistake is assuming that allergy-friendly options are few and far between. If you got it in your brain that your Disney World trip is going to be a whole lot of you just sitting back watching your friends eat stuff you can't have, I'm here to tell you that's not going to be the case. Disney World has a lot of different snacks and foods on many of their menus with allergy friendliness in mind. So if you're traveling and you've got to keep your meals gluten-free or egg-free or nut-free or fish-free or milk-free or strictly plant-based, here's what you're going to want to do. Tap on the allergy-friendly icon on the My Disney Experience app. Most quick service restaurants throughout the parks are available on mobile order via the My Disney Experience app as well. When you tap to order at a restaurant, lots of locations will have an allergy-friendly icon you can choose, which will take you straight to the part of the menu with foods that are marked as safe to order based on your personal dietary needs. The icon looks like a little fork inside a triangle. There's also a plant-based icon you can choose too, which is shaped like two leaves. If you don't find the specific accommodations you're looking for, Disney encourages you to skip the mobile order process and place your order in person instead. That way you'll be able to talk about special diets with a trained cast member or kitchen chef so they can work to modify your order as needed. A cast member can also show you the specific restaurant's allergy binder, which goes into detail about all the ingredients of every item and what the allergens are, so you don't have to second guess yourself before ordering or eating any of your meals. Let restaurants know about allergy concerns ahead of time too. When you make your advanced dining reservations, note that you have a specific allergy when you create the reservation. Disney's table service restaurants should still be able to accommodate allergy-friendly diets without advance notice, and your server should ask you if there are any special diets they should know about before you order. But if they for some reason forget to ask, then definitely speak up. You should be able to chat with the chef or restaurant manager when you arrive to get everything squared away from the get-go. That said, always best to go ahead and add it in when you make your reservation. And here's the way to know which snacks are allergy friendly. You don't have to constantly stress over which Disney snacks are going to be green lighted for you to eat. You can be confident in your order before you even make it to the parks by doing a little extra allergy friendly research ahead of time. Let's look at some gluten-free options, for instance. Dole Whips are a tasty, reliable, refreshing treat with no gluten. Mickey bars are also gluten-free. You can find this vanilla ice cream covered in chocolate and shaped like Mickey Mouse, of course, at various carts around the parks. Popcorn at the popcorn carts are gluten-free too, and vegan. But if you want to try a flavored popcorn like the ones available at the Main Street Confectionery in Magic Kingdom, be sure to ask a cast member if those are still gluten-free depending on which flavors they have that day. Disney's also created a full line of snacks made for guests with one or more dietary restrictions called Snacks with Character. We've seen these allergy-friendly baked goods at several snack kiosks and gift shop locations. And if you're looking for a place to find even more allergy-friendly suggestions, then keep listening because this next point can lead you to so many more recommendations. Your number 15 mistake to avoid in 2023 is not downloading the new 2023 DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. Time to plan out your Disney World dining itinerary the right way. The new 2023 DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining ebook includes over 700 digital pages of our best tips, suggestions, reviews, recommendations, including allergy-friendly ones, and over 500 color photos that we're pretty proud of. To order this new guide, head over to dfbstore.com and make sure to use the code YouTube to score some extra savings. Now, one final reminder for y'all, mistakes happen and no trip is going to be 100% perfect or 100% mistake-free all the time. But the most important thing you can do to brace yourself for those slip-ups and mishaps along the way is to know what you're getting yourself into, which is why you can find us reporting about all things Disney all the time. Not just on our YouTube channel, but on our website, our social channels, and in the DFB Store guidebooks as well. So keep checking back with us and we'll keep on helping you figure out how to maneuver the parks in 2023. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.